There's been a lot of talk about cruelty in the dairy industry this year, whether from personal accounts, media reports, undercover investigations, documentaries or otherwise. It's led to increased public awareness. But what this short film is going to show is that this new awareness has prompted an unprecedented response from the dairy industry, which has become, in recent times, a deceptive and dangerous force. The story begins at the start of the year with two women on opposite sides of the world. One is Senator Tammy Baldwin, the other is Sandra Higgins. They represent a moment where two opposing ideas about the future of the dairy industry took hold. Higgins launched a small billboard campaign against the dairy industry, which proved an extraordinary experiment, starting in Northern Ireland but quickly expanding worldwide. And by the end of July, no one could have foreseen how it would play out.
Vegan campaigners are free to brand British milk production as inhumane after a ruling by the advertising regulator.
Meanwhile, in the US, Senator Tammy Baldwin began a campaign against plant milk. Baldwin introduced the Dairy Pride Act, which stopped non-dairy products such as soy or almond milk from being labelled milk, yogurt or cheese.
Under the Dairy Pride Act drafted by Senator Tammy Baldwin, the FDA would have to crack down on products that use terms like milk or cheese in a way that's misleading.
Senator Baldwin says the act will stop misleading consumers at the grocery store about the products they're buying.
When you say milk, we mean a dairy product, and we mean quality, and we need particular nutritional standards. And you've got to apply the law and make sure that these imitators don't get away with misleading the consumer and cutting into dairy producers' revenue.
Right now, there are tears of frustration in the debate over who gets to put milk on their labels. On one side, you have the long, dominant dairy farmers.
And several farmers say the mislabeling is frustrating, especially because they have the potential to lose sales.
And on the other, you have the new kids on the block. Tennis star Venus Williams.
I do plants.
And hip-hop producer DJ Khaled appear in these new up-tempo ads for Silk almond and soy milk. They're part of an industry of plant-based products described as milk substitutes. They generated $1.4 billion this year and grew 54% over the last 5 years in the US.
Real milk has 8 times more protein than almond milk.
Milk producers are facing decline, dropping 11% in sales over the last year. Now they're fighting back.
So when last month Plant-Based News' World Plant Milk Day was launched and the dairy industry began its own counter hashtag, the fate of the two hashtags was a fitting metaphor for the competing forces.
I'm Abby Reader and I'm proud to be a dairy farmer. Because not only do I get to work with fantastic cows like these producing milk, which is extremely nutritious and delicious, I'm also providing jobs in rural communities here on this farm. And I'm supporting local businesses and services. Plus I'm contributing to that fantastic patchwork landscape that we're all so proud of.
World Plant Milk Day trended globally, while Proud of Dairy achieved only a handful of submissions.
We're the Evans family and we are proud of dairy.
As milk consumption continued to plummet and dairy-free cheese and dessert alternatives became more widely available, the dairy industry's mission to retain its dominant position continued. The industry has been killing cows to inflate dairy prices and secretly funding studies that produce headline-grabbing claims about the alleged health benefits of dairy. But the most striking example of the corruption is the dairy industry's insistence on siphoning off large quantities of government wealth. For example, in the US, big dairy, along with the meat industry, take over $30 billion from the US government in the form of subsidies each year. And in Canada, despite their new draft food guide eliminating dairy, the government there is investing $350 million into new dairy support programs. It was another contradiction that made us question the actions of those in power. And the more we questioned this, the more we realised they did not care. The flaws in their system became more obvious to the world, and revelations came to light about the animal abuse.
And the debate started. What is milk?
Conditions on two Invercargill dairy farms have been described as catastrophic.
I
cow has to become pregnant in order to produce milk, and that they become these baby making machines and they're forcefully impregnated.
Poor cows, yeah, because didn't realise that was how they're being kept.
These cows have to be impregnated for them to produce milk, and calves that are born into this industry, particularly the male calves, are considered wastage.
If something is considered standard agricultural practice, it is exempt from cruelty prosecution.
Through many mechanisms, the government is very supportive of legislation that protects the animal food industry. It's supportive of regulatory measures that protect animal food producers.
It's like any pictures of animals cooped up. You don't want them to be like that. You want them to be free in a field.
Animal rights campaigners claim conditions there are appalling.
We've done investigations at so many dairy factory farms across the country and have documented mother cows bellowing for days.
The calves are taken from their mothers a few hours after birth to be slaughtered and processed.
All the cruelty in the dairy industry, the forced impregnation, the separating babies from their mothers, the slaughtering of the baby animals, the killing of the mothers as well, and the exploitation of their reproductive system, all of this cruelty and violence and oppression. And what's it for? Just so we can have a little bit of cow's milk in our cereal, so we can make a piece of cheese to fit with all the other ingredients on our sandwich.
Once a sideshow in the animal rights struggle, dairy has now become a key and central battle, and one the dairy industry is losing. Ag-gag bills, designed to cover up the horrors of the dairy industry in the US, have been declared unconstitutional this year. And, more recently, the Advertising Standards Authority in the UK ruled that you can legally state that humane milk is a myth. Yet the misinformation continued, especially in the mainstream.
And almond milk and soy milk seem to be okay.
Yeah, some more than... And almond milk's not awesome, unless it's fortified with calcium, it's not awesome. I prefer this, dairy's better, it's a better option.
The mainstream media will never tell our story because the advertisers are the meat, dairy, and pharmaceutical industries. Those industries stand to lose big if America and the world goes plant-based.
Well, the dairy industry has, just like any industry, they've got one thing in mind, and that's to sell as much of their product as possible to the consumer, inconsequential of the health problems associated with it. The health problems are severe, like obesity, type 1 diabetes, other autoimmune diseases, severe constipation, all kinds of food allergy problems, heart disease, elevated cholesterol, I mean, you name it. And a dairy product diet is likely at the root of the problem.
As increasing numbers become aware of the health benefits, there is a demographic time bomb as young people shun traditional milk. But as the dairy industry funds more and more marketing campaigns, maybe the real time bomb and threat is the industry's effect on the planet, which, along with the other agricultural industries, accounts for more greenhouse gas emissions than all of transportation combined.
Hey guys, just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked the style of this video or you've got any feedback, did you find it good, did you find it bad, just let me know down below in the comment section, and subscribe for more plant-based news. We've got our end of year film Vegan 2017 coming in December, so we're taking it next level. It's going to be really good, more professional, more shareable. It could be feature length. It's going to be between 45 minutes and an hour, so it's looking really good. We want to get the word out, and if you want to get access to that before anybody else, just follow the link down below, pop in your email, and then we'll send you an email alert to when you can get exclusive access. But yeah, thanks for watching and see you soon.